Senior Leadership Spotlight. I love this part. Okay, and so we have Mr. Adrian Brown, who is our Chief Contracting Officer.
Yes, President Palmer, I'll jump in before Adrian figured out how to activate his mic down there. And so I'm happy to introduce Adrian Brown. We're very grateful to have Adrian join us as our Chief Contracting Officer. Adrian is not new to the program, although we haven't seen him for several years. So I'll let Adrian share his experience, but we're certainly grateful to have him on board and do appreciate all of his professionalism and experience that he brings to the program.
Good afternoon, President Palmer and directors of the DCA board. My name is Adrian Brown, and I'm a recent add to the DCA team as your Chief Contracting Officer. I was here briefly in 2018, helping the DCA stand up after it was formed in May of 2018. I have a very basic introduction slideshow to present. So I'm a transplant to California. I was born and raised in Canada. I've lived all over California, Los Angeles area, Bay Area, Sacramento area. Actually, the longest I've spent in one area is the Sacramento area, about 14 years. So I've bounced around at different job locations throughout the state of California. My wife and I are basically empty nesters. We've entered a new stage in our life. Most recently, my grandson just called me very old. I think he used the word dinosaur. We can be found watching our grandson playing in Fresno. He's into flag football. He was also doing baseball recently, but I'm glad he's just moved on to one sport. Makes it a little bit easier for us when we're traveling. I'm a 19-year member and former president of the California Association of Public Procurement Officials. It's roughly a membership of 1,800 folks from different lines of procurement in government, including universities, cities, municipalities, counties, water districts, etc. I'm also a former representative of the UPPCC. I used to write board examination questions for the CPPBO, which is the Certificate of Public Procurement Officials. Essentially, that's the management level of certification. And I also have a CPPB, which is the buyer designation. I most recently was the 2024 conference program chair for the Capital Conference. Next slide. I might hold a bachelor's degree in criminal justice, and I also hold a Juris Doctorate in law. Two certifications I just previously announced, the CPPBO and CPPB. Normally, most people get rid of the B after they get to the O, but for whatever reason, I decided I'd like to keep both. Just makes me sound more important. I come with roughly 22 years of government experience and 14 years in private sector, although now I'm recently returned to private sector. I've worked for both counties, cities, water district, water authority. Just recently, I came from San Joaquin County as their Director of Procurement and Support Services with a team of 25, of which we had 14 buyers. Yes, please. So what I'll be bringing to the DCA is project proposal and bid development and management, assisting you with your procurements. I will also be assisting with proposal and bid analysis, contract negotiation and administration. Despite what people think, we don't go into a room with a rubber hose and beat up contractors. We do have active negotiations with them. I will be assisting with staff leadership and professional development, process and policy development, and enforcement. Essentially, I will be enforcing DCA's purchasing policy. And then I will be assisting the DCA with compliance with laws and regulations as they refer to procurement, et cetera. And then also, I don't really like to use the word change management, but we also do assist with that as well. Next slide, please. if you have any questions, I'm more than welcome to answer them.
Yeah, what was that cool building in the middle, in the first slide? It had a clock on it.
Oh, that's Disneyland.
Disneyland, okay.
Yeah.
It's been a long time since I was there.
When I worked for Metropolitan, the first place we landed was in Anaheim. We were less than half a mile from Disneyland, and we purchased one of those year round. And Disneyland lost money, essentially.
It was good that we dumped our stock. Okay. Go ahead. Okay, great. And what do you do now that you're an empty nester?
We do a lot of traveling, visiting family. Currently, we live in the Bay Area in Pleasant Hill. So we just pop into San Francisco occasionally, or again, we do travel to Fresno quite a bit.
Okay, any questions, folks? Go.
I'll just make a comment. So Adrian, thank you for joining the team. Looking forward to your expertise, but I think more closely to home, I noticed your Capo conference was down Palm Springs just recently, right? Hopefully, that was well attended, and you found the area to be acceptable.
Oh, yes. Actually, that's our third time conference in Palm Springs, and we actually, Capo does have a contract for 2 more events there in the next 4 years. We actually broke records. We had over 300 new attendees. And I want to say we had almost 800 attendees. For that association, that's huge. I should also note that it is the oldest public procurement association in the United States. NIGP trails us by about 20 years, as we like to rub that out there.
Any other questions? Go ahead.
Chair Palmer, just a brief welcome, Adrian, to the team. Looks like you're very well qualified. I'm not sure that the work you had ahead of you is going to be probably will be less demanding than going to Disneyland on a regular basis. So I think you're well trained. So thank you. Appreciate that.
Thank you. Thank you.
Either of our board members online have any questions? No? Okay, any public comment?
No public comment requests, President
Not
Palmer.
in the room, not on Zoom, and well, welcome. So nice to have you with us. Okay, great. Thank you. That was good.